let's talk about the running back position here. You started off on the quarterbacks. I'll start off on the running backs. And this is going to once again sound like I'm being biased here, but I have Aaron Jones as my running back who could finish RB1. He's currently being drafted as the RB12 at the 39th ADP. Look, Aaron Jones is a pass catching back who has the ability to basically take it upfield every single time he wants to if he gets the right blocks. It's just a question as to really whether the Packers are going to get him the ball. When the Packers gave them the ball, they were winning games. When they didn't, they were losing. And on top of that, um, right now they have a quarterback situation where they're going to need a guy who they can check down to on the regular. They have two rookie tight ends. They have two second-year wide receivers and a rookie wide receiver out there. Aaron Jones kind of feels like the only veteran that's there to receive a ton of the pass-catching abilities, whether it be from the backfield or really from the wide receiver position. Last year finished as running back 11. Like I said, it's a question as to whether they use him because week 1 he had 7 fantasy points. Week 2 he had 30 fantasy points, and then week 3 he had 3 fantasy points. So if the Packers utilize him, Aaron Jones has the potential to go out there and get you 20 to 30 fantasy points every single week. The usage is the big question. That's the only reason that he's not being drafted higher, in my opinion, is because people don't know what they're going to do with him. Not to mention, and I always think that things like this matter, the Packers defense, like I said, they get them back on the field. They have a very, very stout defense. And David Bakhtiari, who might be the best or second best left tackle in the NFL right now, is finally healthy and back. Says Jordan Love's a Hall of Famer, and I'm sticking to that statement. And that's why I think Aaron Jones has a legit chance to be running back number 1. Mook, who you got?
I love that pick. Always been an Aaron Jones kind of guy. Obviously, the biggest thing holding him back is just for whatever reason the Packers just don't give him touches.
Yeah.
But no, love me some Aaron Jones.
I see what you mean.
For my pick, I am gonna go with the man, the myth, the legend, Joe Mixon. Yo, listen. I don't understand why. I don't get it. Joe Mixon, he's going in the 5th, 6th round of fantasy drafts right now. Let's just break down some of the numbers. I mean, the Bengals last year, their running backs got 23 targets in the red zone. And, now with P. Ryan gone, where do those targets go? They're going to go to Joe Mixon, right? I mean, Joe Mixon had, 40, 50 targets last year, and, P. Ryan was taking up, most of the third down work there. Not to mention, last year he ranked 2nd and expected fantasy points per game, only behind Austin Eckler. And with no P. Ryan being there, there's 9 more touches that are going to be opened up across the board. And the people who are behind him, I mean, these are unproven people, right? I mean, combined, the running backs behind him have less than 100 touches in the NFL. And that's overall touches. That's not just catches or rushing attempts. That's overall touches. And then finally, the thing I love about Mixon and the thing that makes fantasy goodness great when it comes to running backs is those high value touches, right? Those are the touches inside the 5-yard line, the carries inside the 5-yard line, the end zone targets, things like that. Mixon last year ranked 3rd in high volume touches amongst running backs. So he definitely has, not only the opportunity, but I mean, he has the skill set to do it as well.
100%. And by the way, I've been labeled as a Joe Mixon hater by you. And
yeah.
Listen, I do see the boom potential, but I also see the bust potential. And I think that's something you have to admit. I'm not saying he can't finish running back 1. I hope he does, because he's falling so late in drafts that sometimes you have to pick him up as a second running back. But he's let me down in the past. He's let people down in the past. That's the only reason that I'm that way. Okay. My second running back. Another guy from Wisconsin. Not from the Green Bay Packers, though. From the University of Wisconsin, though. I'm going Jonathan Taylor. Now, this one's not a shocker to a lot of people, but probably could be to some, seeing as how he had I don't want to say an absolutely treacherous year last year, but I'll say it was a big letdown to a lot of people. Jonathan Taylor, currently being drafted as the 10th running back, ADP 19, which is a lot higher than, most people probably think he was going to go. He, injuries, the line not being what it was last year. He started off the season strong, 27 points, and then just kind of fell off the face of the earth after that. I mean, 7 points, 12 points, 3 points, gone, 15, 5, gone, and then a boom for 24, 16, 18, 13, and then he finished the season with 5 straight misses. So, Jonathan Taylor has maybe the most upside of any draft or any running back being drafted in the top 10 this year, just because he has been the running back one before. Like, we've seen him do that at that level before. The offensive line is finally healthy. Anthony Richardson is finally, or sorry, not finally, but rather looks like a guy that the Colts can finally rely on and trust to be their quarterback one. If everything goes to plan, that system there should work and help Jonathan Taylor get back to his prior form, where people were saying maybe that guy should win MVP, not just as a running back in fantasy football. He also is going to probably get a lot of checkdowns too, because Anthony Richardson is a rookie quarterback, and he's going to be looking for the easiest throws in a lot of situations. I just think that Jonathan Taylor has the possibility to be running back one.
What a world would be if we could get, a healthy Jonathan Taylor with 250 to 300 carries and, 60, 70 targets. I mean,
That'd be great.
He may break like the all-time
Yardage
fantasy
record.
Running back like points ever.
100%. Who do you got for your two?
I mean, a guy who has always been pretty up there in terms of consensus. A guy who has the ability to dominate in all facets of the game, and a guy who's done it before. Basically, top 2 finish, I think, his rookie season. Saquon Barkley, Quadzilla. He's taking the moniker away from A.J. Dillon. I'm giving it to Saquon.
Nope.
I don't allow you to.
But look, last year when he was healthy, rather, from weeks 1 through 10, Saquon Barkley had 83% of the team snaps, and he also had 86% of the team's high value snaps. Again, those are the touches within the 5-yard line. The touches where he's around the goal line. He's in the red zone. He's getting those end zone looks when it comes to pass attempts, stuff like that, right? So Saquon has always been one of those guys. It's if he's healthy, right?
Yep.
So, I mean, you label him with like the CMCs of the world, the Jonathan Taylors of the world now. I definitely can see and foresee a scenario, where Saquon is the guy, essentially. And, he's in the prime years of his career. I believe he's 26 now. He's in a contract year, I believe. So, I mean, he has all of the necessary tools to do it. He has all of the motivation to do it. And, he last year was, 4th in the high value touches that we like to, target. He was 6th in targets amongst running backs, and he was 4th in carries. And, like I said, I don't think down the stretch last year he was, playing at 100%. But, in a world where we can get, 16, 17 full games of Saquon Barkley at, 90 to 100% or close as possible to it, I mean, the sky's the limit for that guy.
Not to mention, he had 284 fantasy points last year, and he did have a 7-point performance in Week 14 and a 7-point performance in Week 17. Missed Week 18. It definitely didn't seem like Saquon was 100%. Finished as running back 5. I have no problem with saying that I could see Saquon finishing as RB1 this year. If you made it to this point of the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below who you think could possibly finish number 1 at any of the positions. And make sure that you come back for the next video. Make sure you're here for our lives on Sundays. We go live at 8 a.m. every single Sunday to make sure that you guys are set up with your fantasy lineups. If you have fantasy trades, make sure you hit us up on Twitter or Instagram, any of the above. Drop it in the comment section down below. We're here to help at the end of the day. But for Malik, for myself, for the SLG Network, signing off. Deuces.